here with Brian.
Hi, nice to see you.
How are you doing today?
I'm doing excellent, excellent.
So tell us your story. How long, I know you come from the tunnel game. How long were you in tunnel car washes? What was your story there?
Started in tunnel car washes back in 1996, so that makes it, about 29 years ago.
Okay, I didn't realize it was that long.
And yeah, it's been a long run with the tunnels, and did everything from full service to flex service to then change that over to just an express wash.
So that's interesting. I did not know that either. I know we've talked before, but I might have forgot some things.
Okay.
So you've been through the whole gamut. A lot of labor, less labor,
right?
And now you're here as where we're at, which we'll talk about in a little bit.
Yeah.
But so you spent close to 30 years in the tunnel game, and how many different tunnels did you own?
Just one tunnel the whole time.
All right.
It was a fairly large tunnel, a 136-foot conveyor, 160-foot building. Took a lot of people to operate it and run it, and I had a crew of 20 people working. Yeah. Plus we ran a detail shop on the site as well.
Okay. And you went from a full serve to a flex. Right. Was that a good move? Did you appreciate that move at the time?
Absolutely. It already started showing me at that point a way to start reducing your labor and getting higher throughput. Yep. And that was the name of the game then, was how can I get more throughput through my tunnel? And so that was able to, basically with the flex, you're turning your tunnel into an express, and then you're peeling those people off and giving the full service option if they choose. Yeah. So I saw a dramatic increase in volume where we were pushed before to do 300, 350 car full service cars a day. Now immediately when we did that, we were changed over to 500 cars a day was capability. Yep. So, and then the transition again, going into an express model, and this is before, when Express was just coming out, we didn't even have pay stations. We were just running a booth. And then we started running up into the 1,000 car range on busy days. Yep. And so with even less employees. So less employees, you made more money, but why do you think you made more money from the customer? Why do you think more people came when you went from full to flex, from flex to express? Well, actually, every time we did that, we were able to reduce our prices. Okay. So we were able to reduce prices, but then we also were able to give more value, and we were able to give more speed. So the speed thing became really apparent because when we were a full service wash, we couldn't get anyone through in less than 20 minutes. It was a push to do that in 20 minutes. Doing a lot of hand prep, doing the windows, doing the vacuum, wiping the door jambs, wiping the car down, doing the tire shine by hand. Very time and labor intensive. But then when we started going ahead and getting into the speed, now people are saying, well, now I can shoot in for a quick wash, and it's not going to take me 20 minutes. Now it's only going to take me 5 or 10 minutes when we went to the flex model. And then we went to the express model, and we finally got from a cashier, we went into pay stations, and we were able to pick up the track speed. Then we were running over 130 cars an hour. Even if we had a line of 20 cars, you were in and out in 10 minutes. Yep. And so all those things combined. Yeah. The speed and keeping people in the car was a big deal too. Yeah, that's true. People don't realize, you get the folks out of the car in a full service, and then getting them back in is time consuming. As soon as you went to the express model, keeping them in the car was be able to increase your volume substantially then as well. Yeah. So. Yeah, and less confusion, less liability. People just stay in and do their thing, and they get trained, and then they're good to go. So when did it start to click for you that speed was higher on the priority list for customers? When we went to the express model, and I saw that we were able to increase that track speed, and every time we were able to increase that track speed, my lines didn't get shorter. They just kept staying longer because more and more people were seeing that the transition on the property was very quick. They knew they were trained after a while that they saw, oh, there's a line of 15 cars, but I know I'll be through that thing in no time. It's no wait. Yep. And one of the other big things too, it increased a lot of volume too, is when we went into the whole concept of free vacuums and other amenities on the property where they were added in with the cost of the car wash.
Yeah.
Those were all big draws as well.
Yeah. Yeah. What kind of emotions, how difficult was it for you to go from a full to a flex, from a flex to an express? Because you were successful at each part of it, you know?
It's a big mental thing, the transition from each. So you have to get it as an operator, you have to get it around your head that there's going to be some real challenges here. And the biggest part of it was educating the customer. Each time you did that change in your concept, the way you ran your business, your business model, it's a new education process for them. And fortunately, they bought into it every time. You know, and you know, the subconscious type thing, working with people of just seeing the line move and seeing a lot of volume on the property and seeing, and that was a big thing too. The more people we saw on our property, the more people came. And it was all, every time I was in the community and talking to people, they say, oh, that's the car wash that has the huge lines all the time. That's the car wash that has, it's like, and where do you go to wash your car? Oh, we go there. So the huge lines weren't detrimental to it.
Yep.
It was generating and creating more traffic and more interest in the property.
Yeah.
And which helped us to be able to enhance our product even more. We were able to constantly add on more amenities, upgrade our equipment constantly. That was one thing we always did too, is always reinvested into the business, take that profit. Every year we try to do something pretty substantial. It's like, oh, we put in new vacuums this year. Oh, this year we put in a light show in it. Oh, this year we put in more blowers. Or this year we did something different.
Yep.
We painted a building different or something. And people always comment. They said, we love coming here because we know you're invested in this, and we see you change something every year.
Yeah.
And we love how that makes us feel like you appreciate us as customers.
Yes. Yeah. And if you're really savvy, you can give them the credit for it, and then they feel even more invested.
Yeah. Exactly.
You know, due to you guys, due to the community, look what we've done. And so I've found that's a very common theme among really successful owners, is reinvesting back into the business.
It's definitely key. It's sometimes people question it. You know, and you know, accountants and bankers say, well, why are you going to throw all that back into it when you're generating this much money? Well, you're not really grasping our business model and how we're going to go ahead and enhance this, and it's going to generate, we're going to get 3 or 4 fold from that investment. And it did every time. We had, over all those years, we never had less than a 7% increase year over year, and we usually were 10 to 12% increase revenue year over year for almost 30 years.
That's wild.
It never, even during the COVID, it just, that was actually a big change for us there. In the way we were able to still stay open and operate, and we changed our operations a little bit. But people were embracing the car washing because there wasn't anything else to do. Let's go to the car wash. And at least we can still do that and get out of the house.
Yeah, and every municipality was different. Some car washes, sometimes they closed down the car washes, but some we were allowed to remain open depending on how you ran it. We have a nice big van going through with a ladder rack, which that's great to see. Behind the scenes here, there's a bunch of cameras. We see a big van going through with a ladder rack. So I think with continual improvement as well, you were ahead of the game because a lot of competition came to town. You know, back in the 90s and early 2000s, it wasn't even a deal, but all of a sudden it hit hard. And you were probably pretty insulated from that with your continual improvement methods, I would assume.
It definitely made us part of the community, and the community definitely stood by us and supported us. And plus, they knew we were locally owned as well. Yep. And we've just always went out of our way to make sure that we were giving the best product we possibly could at an affordable price. And we did a lot of other things in the community. We were real big on fundraising. So every weekend there was a fundraiser on the property, and that was huge in the community as well. Just we actually had to start limiting the number of fundraisers we were doing just because of weather conditions, and people were overlapping. It was getting a little bit crazy, but so people were like, they'd do a fundraiser with us, and they'd already start setting up, when can we do it next year? Yep. You know, so that's getting into the community, you know. Yeah. And we're always starting to do that at this location, starting to give donations and any way we can help any kind of fundraising that's going on, and we'll slowly evolving into what we were doing before the tunnel too. So,
yeah.
Local sports teams, that sort of stuff.
Excellent.
The high school teams, that sort of thing.
Yep. You're giving a master class. People probably don't realize it. You're giving a master class on how to run a wash, how to run a tunnel. How did you discover this model? So you left the tunnel business, and how is this? We're at a triple bay automatic right now. So how did you discover this, and how did this come on your radar? What were your thoughts?
Well, after I sold the tunnel, I knew I wasn't ready to give up car washing yet. And I started thinking about how I would move forward in the wash world, what I wanted to do. And so I started thinking about what I liked about car washing and what I didn't like about car washing. And I started putting those items together and started doing research on YouTube and driving around looking at all the different models out there, the short tunnels, the in-bay automatics, the self-serves. Every aspect of car washing, I started looking at it, and I started thinking, well, what's the next big step in the industry as well? Where are we all going here? And what can I do that's different than what's currently happening? And as we all know right now, and for the past...
So you were researching everything, and what was the next thing to do for car washing?
So what was going to happen next in the car wash business? And we know that the tunnels are being built everywhere, literally almost on top of each other. If you build a tunnel now, you can count on 2 or 3 being built very nearby, and you're all going to have to chew off the same little piece of pie that's there.
Yep.
So I said, well, what can I do that is going to be different and easy to operate and attractive to customers? And through that research, I found that the in-bay automatic was probably going to be my best way to do that. And the reason why I say that is I was able to reduce labor. I didn't really want to have to deal with a whole huge crew of people anymore, managing all those issues that come with that. I really didn't want to have to do a ton of maintenance, which if you're running a tunnel properly requires daily maintenance and a lot of it.
Yeah.
And even the cleaning of a tunnel was very labor intensive if you're going to do it right. Didn't want to do that. And I definitely had to have some freedom. When you're with the tunnel, it's kind of like a marriage.
Yeah.
It really consumes you, and it requires a lot of attention.
It's like running a retail McDonald's or fast food restaurant.
Exactly.
It's the same thing.
So I wanted to try to get away from those aspects of it. But some of the things I did like was I liked washing cars.
Yep.
I loved the challenge of getting a car clean.
Yep.
I liked the ability to have an unlimited program. I liked that. That was definitely a game changer in the industry there to make my life a lot easier in managing revenue and that sort of stuff.
Yep.
And the maintenance, once again, I keep going back to the maintenance side of it because it's so time consuming. When you're running a tunnel, you're in there wrenching at 2, 3 o'clock in the morning because you got to get open for the next morning, or you're coming in at 3 o'clock in the morning.
There's only one conveyor. There's only one wash.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's another key point. So you only have one conveyor, you have one tunnel. If you have a major component fail on you, if you have something small, you can still limp through the day. If you have a major component fail, you're down until that's repaired. It could be anywhere from an hour, it could be the rest of the day. It might be a full day the next day till you get the parts in. Whereas if you're running a multiple in-bay automatic, you have one failure, you still keep running. You shut down that bay and just let the other 2 keep running, and then you work on it at your leisure.
Yep.
That's the beauty of that. So in my research, I came across the Pettit model of the long bay, which finding out that through doing my research, I didn't know the difference between a short bay, long bay, what the advantage was, why would I do this, what's all involved with that. And then after seeing that model operate and run, then the light came on and said, okay, we start washing these cars, get them out of the way, let them dry in another bay, and then we start washing the next car. So that starts clicking in my mind saying, well, now if I can go ahead and get those cars through faster and the Pettit, compared to some other models, is much quicker in doing that. I can start running with multiple in bays, like we have here for 3. I could start approaching numbers that are at a short tunnel.
Yep.
And the beauty of that is I can approach those numbers unmanned. So it's just this gigantic vending machine here.
Yep.
That if we want to have someone here, which we do during normal business hours, we can talk to customers and give them that experience. But if not, we can still run. And I know we leave at 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, and we come back, or I look at my numbers, and we ran, for the rest of the day, we ran another 90 cars after we left. You know, and it was just a normal average day. But, you know, we left at 6 o'clock at night, and still 90 more people came in and washed. And it just came by the next morning and come in. There's already 35 or 40 cars already washed the next morning, and no one was here. You know, it's just it's simple.
Simple. Yeah. So now that you've transitioned, you're a very successful tunnel operator. You transitioned to this. Say you're 30 years younger, and we're in the same time period though, but you're 30 years younger. Would you? And you had some opportunity to build a tunnel or build like a triple or quad bay, which direction would you go?
I would have definitely gone with a 3 or 4 bay in bay automatic.
Okay.
Knowing if I had that knowledge
of
what that tunnel was going to hold for me for 30 years. And the heartaches and the pain that I went through to develop that and to become a successful tunnel operator. Versus, there'd be heartaches and pains doing this too, but nowhere near that level of stress and pain actually to get to the same, almost the same levels, I would think, in throughput and even revenues.
I know one thing you said, we met at one of the United car washes. This is how we met. And one thing you said is you took everything I don't like in car washing out, but kept everything I do like in car washing in. And that kind of reiterates what you just said right now. There's like a lot of, it is like running a McDonald's, except with a lot more maintenance. Now there's things running a McDonald's that we don't know as car wash with the food and inventory, but it is a lot of maintenance. It is all the time. People call off. You have one machine breakdown, you're done. It's a very retail environment, but in here, you're just taking a lot of the negatives out of it.
It's just the stress level. Just when I'd be in the tunnel and on a very busy day and we're running 1,000, 1,100 cars, 1,200 cars, our average day there was 750, 800 cars was an average day. And we had, a big unlimited plan and stuff. And just being in my office, my stress level was so high, just listening to the equipment, waiting for some odd sound, or waiting for a horn to go off in the tunnel, or waiting for the conveyor to stop for some reason. And just like, what am I going to find when I walk out there? 2 cars colliding together, a piece of equipment collapsed on a car or something, a customer drove in the back of somebody else, chain broke, car went into the pit. It can be a million disasters, and the stress level during the course of a day, you're just like, it's almost like you're in combat almost during all day. It's like your level's way up here during that course of the day, and then when you finally turn the lights off at the end of the night, your blood pressure literally comes down. It's like, okay, I can breathe again. On those busy days, and it's just it becomes very stressful. Here on a busy day, it's hard. It's hard to get, after running a tunnel for so long. It's hard to get your head wrapped around it. It's just like, we're busy,
for reasons to get stressed,
and I'm not really even out there talking to anybody, and it just keeps moving and moving, and everyone's doing their own thing, and no horns are blowing. There's no damage. And that's another big thing. What I didn't like, and I didn't even mention. We said what I didn't like was I didn't like to have the damage claims. I remember an old timer years ago told me, if you ain't breaking stuff, you ain't washing cars. So it's like, well, I didn't like that.
I don't like that statement either. But I get it. You're doing a lot of volume.
You're doing a lot of volume, because if you're running a thorough tunnel and you're running your equipment the way it is, if there's anything loose on the car, it's not if it'll find it, it's just when it will find it.
That's right.
And it will take it off. And you as an
mirrors.
Operator trying to do all you can to prevent that from happening, but you can't. And so then you have this good customer who's been coming to you for 10, 15 years. You've been struck up an acquaintance with them and stuff, hey Joe, how you doing? Good to see you. And next, all of a sudden, you have to have this uncomfortable conversation. And in your heart, you know when it was your fault,
Yeah.
and you know when it wasn't your fault. And majority of the time, it probably wasn't your fault.
Yeah.
And now you have to have this uncomfortable conversation with a very good customer.
Yeah.
And it always doesn't end well.
Yeah.
You know, that you both go away unhappy.
Yeah.
I go away unhappy because I couldn't convince him that it wasn't our fault, and he
Yep.
goes away unhappy thinking I wasn't responsible to take care of his problem.
Yep.
So in this environment, we've been open just a short time now, but we washed over 20,000 cars, and I've had zero damage
claims.
Zero claims.
Yep.
Yeah. And I've had let's say zero claims. I've had two people question some things.
Yeah.
And I was able to show them on the videos.
Yep.
And they just, yeah, you're right.
Good to go now.
Yeah, we're okay.
Yep. Awesome.
So I don't have. That's the other stress point. That what I didn't like about car washing is having to have that conversation. That was part of that anxiety level in my tunnel when I'm sitting in my office saying, okay. So an employee would come and say, hey, someone wants to speak to you. It's like, what am I? It's like I'd have to ask the employee, say, what's it concerning, so I can get my head wrapped around it. It's like, okay, what am I walking into here?
Yeah. Yep.
And I didn't like it. I just didn't like it. So this is that stress level here is just way down. Like literally no stress.
Awesome.
You know,
awesome.
so it's enjoyable.
Great.
So, and at this point in my life, I'm trying to slow things down a little bit.
Yeah. Yeah. Fantastic. So we're talking about the stress level. How has your wife and family accepted this model? Have they noticed anything? Do they have any comments?
They've noticed that I have a lot more free time.
Okay.
Now that you know, I can come and go if hey, let's go have lunch or something like that. Jump in the car, split for a couple hours, come back, and everything's running and
everything's just fine.
Everything's fine. You want to leave at 5 o'clock to go to a dinner or a family function or something. You just close it down and your operation keeps running. Yeah. That's the beauty of it. I mean, people have such different schedules in their lives now that we're 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And we tell that to the customers too when they sign up for the unlimited. We say, well, just so you know, we're 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. And they're so amazed. They're like, you never shut down. No, I mean, not like the tunnel down the street. It's like open, and then they close on rain days. Yep. And you're open from 8 in the morning to 8 at night. I said, no, if you're coming home at midnight from a midnight shift or something from working and you want to wash, we're here for you. Yeah. And our amenities are out here and they're operating for you as well. And we make it a real nice, safe environment. We're very well lit, and we just make it very easy for them to get their cars clean whenever it's convenient for them, instead of when it's convenient for us to run. Like you said before and earlier, is running a tunnel is a retail operation. Yep. So we're not specifying what hours you have to come visit us. You come when it's convenient for you here. So I think that helps us in our volume as well. It's not unusual for me to, you know, go to bed at night and just look at the cameras before I go to sleep and see some guy at midnight and there's be 3 cars out here vacuuming and doing windows and doing their thing. It's just like 2 cars going through. It's like, this is crazy. People crazy. At midnight, I got 5 cars on the property. Yep. It's an unbelievable thing. And it's like, and no one's there. Yeah. That's amazing. No one is there.
Especially coming from...
I'm there virtually, though.
Yeah.
You know, that's the thing I am, because I'm watching it. I can see it if there's a problem.
Your lighting technology worked for you.
There you go. And that's hard to embrace sometimes, you know, when, at least was for me. So, yeah, so embracing that virtual technology, you know, coming from the tunnel world, to sit here and say, okay, I'm going to leave the property and let it run, and I can still tune into it and manage it. You know, I can do everything on my phone that I can do here. There's nothing I can't do on my phone that I can't do when I'm here. So virtually you're always there. Yeah. And if you get a phone call, I've been on the trail running or something like that, and you get a phone that says, hey, I just went through and had this problem or whatever. Say, okay, go, which lane are you in there? Okay. And reset the machine. Yep. And check it to make sure there's no warnings or anything like that, and say, okay, I'll fire a wash for you, go ahead through. Yep. He's like, cool, see you later. Yep. And
it's done.
I missed like 3 minutes of my run, you know, and back to it again, and off we go. And it's like, this is crazy. So it was a really big challenge. It still is a little bit to this day. We start to get on a real busier day that you start seeing the cars lining up, and it's just like, and I'm not there. Yeah. To say, shouldn't I be out there just... at the tunnel, I know I would be doing, but here it's like, shouldn't I be out there? And I was thinking, I'd be in here, and I think about, but what would I be doing?
Yeah.
There's nothing for me to do. Just sit there and watch them come by, and I just feel it makes me feel better that I'm there.
Yep.
You don't really have to. It's pretty neat.
It is pretty neat. So what has the how much has Pettit been a part of this whole experience, and what's your experience been with Pettit, and how much was that a part of the equation for building this wash, this Express in-bay?
Well, through the research that I did, I found that I didn't really have any option if I really wanted to do volume. And then with that came through further research, finding out the reliability, the reliability of the Pettit machine. Just hearing other operators who have Pettits talk, just saying how bulletproof it was just like the Sherman tank. This thing would just keep running and it will just wash all day long for you. Mm-hmm. If it does have a problem, it's going to let you know, but it's most likely going to still keep washing unless it's something really major. Like I said, we're a new operation now, and I've had no Pettit issues at all.
Yeah, you've had 20,000 cars through here already.
Yeah, 22,000 and some change already.
Yeah,
and in the 3 bays, so each one is running flawlessly. And and to Pettit's, to commend them. I mean, I've had customers try to abuse the machine. I mean, they literally driven into the arms, and the machine just shuts down and moves out of the way, and I just hit reset on it and
good to go.
Give it 10 seconds and it's back ready. It's like, okay, was that all you got?
Yep.
Let's go again.
Yep.
Let's try this again, right? And that's the beauty of it. It's in some other equipment, it would have been an absolute nightmare.
Yep.
But the biggest thing was the speed of the Pettit.
And
for what I wanted to do, and the environment I try to create here was to emulate what a tunnel can do. Give it the tunnel feel, give it the tunnel look, but we're touch-free, in-bay automatic, but I needed to have that speed.
Yeah.
And other machines that I looked at, some come kind of close, but do they have the same cleaning power? No. I think to get up to the speed of the Pettit, you're cutting down on their cleaning ability to get to the speed, whereas Pettit, you're getting an incredible clean with incredible speed. Mm-hmm. So it was a no-brainer at that point. It's like, this is the direction I have to go with.
Yeah. Now, you said 22,000 cars. How many months have you been open?
Yeah, 3 months and 1 week.
Okay. So, I've been open 20,000 in the first quarter.
Yeah.
That's not too bad. And as people, there's things you can show on camera, and there's certain things you can't experience on camera. We had a ridiculous 6 weeks worth of rain. We had a lot of rain this spring.
It was a bad spring.
Yeah, a bad spring. You're still knocking it out.
Yeah, we're very fortunate. The community's embraced us quite well. Yeah.
Now, speaking of which, how have the customers responded? Because you have 25, 30 years of tunnel experience, and when you're out there talking to customers, because you're good at that, what do they say different than from what they were in a tunnel? What's their experience in general? What do they say different?
Well, before we even opened, we had a community days, which was just in the park nearby here. So we put up a tent there, and we were giving out free branded air fragrances and a brochure. And one of the first questions, they said, "Oh yeah, great, you're the new car wash being built around the corner there. Great, can't wait. When are you going to open?" And then the next question was, "Is it a touchless car wash?" The next question was, "No conveyors, right?" And the next question was, "Do you have an unlimited plan?"
Yep.
That was the only thing they needed to know.
Yeah.
And I'd say 99% of them embraced that.
Yeah.
They said, "Oh, that's so great. I do not want to go through anything with my brand new car or even my older car, because now things are starting to become fragile." We had those questions asked by all the customers or potential customers, about the conveyor. They didn't like that. They didn't want anything touching their cars, and the unlimited plan.
Yeah.
They absolutely wanted to have those 3 things available to them. And we met those requirements, and the numbers are now showing that, because we're having a huge impact with our unlimited plan, as well as just the volume that you just mentioned.
Yeah.
We're doing over 22,000 cars already, and we just opened up.
Yeah. Were you shocked? I was. Coming from a successful tunnel, knocking 200,000 plus cars out a year, were you shocked how many people do not want to go on a conveyor and put their car in neutral?
Absolutely stunned. You know,
Me too.
when you're in that tunnel business and you get that tunnel vision, you think this is the only way in the world to wash a car. Everything else is less. Everything else doesn't matter. Anything else won't have an impact on me at all, just as long as I don't have to deal with another tunnel. And all of a sudden you start finding out that you weren't doing your research too well, because there's a whole demographic out there, and not just a small number. It's a pretty substantial number, which I'm showing just by these numbers.
Yeah.
That people will embrace this style of car wash. And I think when I was mentioning before that what is the next up and coming way to do business in the car wash business, I think this is the way to go.
Yep.
I wouldn't have made this investment. I wouldn't have done everything I've done here unless I had a very good gut feel that this is where we were going. And the reason why was because one of the mention was so many people in the newer cars now are just struggling trying to find that neutral. Some cars you got to go 2-3 screens into the computer on your dashboard to sit, okay, I can get in a neutral here, or I got to go into car wash mode, or I have to do something special. That causes a ton of issues. Going to a car wash for some people is almost like going to the airport for them. Their anxiety level gets incredibly high.
Rightfully so.
Because they're afraid of that conveyor.
Yeah.
So, and then all the things they have to do, I'd say, okay, I got to pull on, I got to guide on here, then I got to go get my car neutral, and then at the end, I got to go and really pay attention. I got to get my car back into driving and get out of the way before the next guy runs in the back of me.
Yep.
You know, so everything is very timed. And when you're running on those 1,000-car days, that guy pulling on the cars is not very forgiving sometimes, because he's under pressure. He's got to get these cars through.
Yep.
So the stress level on everyone is incredibly high, and it's not a pleasant experience.
It's not.
So moving to this model, we've made taking the stress level down for me as the operator, but also for the customer. It's way down, and they're just embracing it. They're liking it, and that was a hard thing for me to see when I was in that tunnel world.
In a successful tunnel world.
Yeah.
It's even harder to see, I think.
Yeah, you sit there and say, well, that in-bay automatic down the street, but when I was watching an in-bay automatic down the street, was a one-bay, short bay of an antiquated piece of equipment that was taking anywhere between 7 and 10 minutes. I'd go down there and time them and say, and I'd see 6 people in line, and I'd say, that last guy's going to be there an hour. He's reading the Sunday paper in line, and I'm thinking, and people are getting upset with me, and I'm running 130 cars an hour. And they're like, what's taking so long?
They're running 8 cars an hour. Yeah.
So I'm thinking, well, those people are willing to put up with a little bit of time, willing to go to an in-bay automatic because they don't want anything touching your car. They want to get, so they'll put up with it. So what if I can go ahead and take that experience, but not make them wait an hour?
Yeah.
And that's what we're doing here.
Yeah. Fantastic.
So it works out good.
How has your experience been with Pettit, the company, just dealing with them?
You know, I've had a handful of calls with them, not many, but every time I've called them, it's if they didn't immediately pick up the phone, it was within a very short period of time. My phone's ringing back, and they walk me through any issue very quickly. I feel that if I have a problem, they're there. You know, and like I said, I've had nothing major. Small little check valve or something like that that I had, and really not to their fault. It's just the nature of the business. But they were there to deal with it, and they knew immediately. Dealing with other equipment manufacturers in the tunnel, you don't get any support there. You're on. You know, once that equipment is installed in your tunnel, you better know how to run it, baby, because you're on your own. If you get an answer from somebody at some of the other tunnel manufacturers, within a week you're lucky. And trying to get parts is even a whole other.
That's a whole other
ball game. Where here, even just looking at Pettit, which I haven't had to do any maintenance to it, I can see that it's. And going into the maintenance on a Pettit, just while I'm in there doing the monthly maintenance, which is so minimal, it's hard to believe. I mean, you have 7 Zerk fittings and a couple air cylinders, and clean some eyes. And it's like, okay, I'm done for the month now. And it's like it took me, I did 3 bays and it took 45 minutes. Okay, what's for lunch? You know, awesome. Whereas you go into a tunnel, it's just like, well, I got to find 42 Zerk fittings through here, and half of them I need to have my arm bend in 4 different directions to get to it, you know.
That's right.
And then I got to tighten the chain, and then I got to go and clean all the cloth, and then I got to clean all this equipment on 4 sides, and
oh man. And we used to flip the chain and check the chain for cracks and all
rollers.
That stuff.
And you're in there taking replacing rollers,
yep.
and
inspecting all that.
It's just
especially when you're high volume, you got to do that often. Yeah. And again, when you're high volume, when are you going to do that? In the middle of the night.
You're doing it at crazy hours.
Yep.
You're some days you're praying for rain.
Yeah, oh yeah.
You're praying not just a sprinkle, because they're coming in a sprinkle. You're hoping for torrential downpour for 12 hours.
They won't whine when you shut it down.
So you can get in here and do some maintenance on this thing, because if you know, it's like I haven't been in here in like 3 weeks now doing anything serious.
Yeah.
I'm just waiting for something to break.
Yeah.
Right? Whereas this thing, you go in once a month, and you do, like I said, 3 bays I'm doing in 45 minutes. Yep. And I can probably do it faster than that. I'm not like scrambling to do it. Yeah, taking my time and just checking everything and making sure nothing's loose, any loose bolts or anything. Yeah. But the other thing too is it's so accessible. You know, Tom doesn't cover the whole machine up with a bunch of cowlings and fairings, and it's an attractive looking machine because it's all stainless.
Yep.
And we have lights and things on. It makes it look great. But he's not hiding the real mechanical side of it, which is kind of showing the beauty of the mechanical side of it. You know?
Oh yeah,
it's quite elegant. So now I can sit there and say, oh yeah, that needs tightened there or something, or I can see it.
Yeah.
It's not like I had to wait for it to make a noise, you know, and then where's that noise coming from?
Yeah.
And I can physically see everything that's happening on that machine. And you sit there and you put it on your test mode on your phone, and you can sit there and just work the machine standing there looking at it, you know?
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's awesome.
It's very neat.
What other comments have your customers said?
They absolutely love the pressure that the machine puts out on the car. You know, they're just like, I can't believe how, you know, it's like, how much water are you putting on there? It's like, it seems like, you know, my whole car's shaking or rocking.
Yeah.
And how much, I mean, you're just dumping tons of water. I said, well, not really, not as much as you think we're using. It's just the pressure we're using and the nozzles that are going on there. And they're just impressed by how clean you can get a car without touching it.
Yeah.
You know, obviously you have your dwell times and your chemicals and all that thing involved with it, but if it wasn't for the pressures and the nozzles and that sort of stuff to get those chemicals to work as well, you wouldn't have a car as clean as you do. And Tom's really figured that out. And you know, sometimes in a tunnel you start putting on too much soap, you can never get it all off, and it goes to the blow dryers and it's coming out of the door jams and stuff on the car, and you're not happy and nobody's happy, you know. So here we're putting on the proper amount of soap, and with the amount of water and the pressure getting on there, I never have that issue of soap going through the blow dryers and soap coming out of the jams or anything like that. The only thing coming out of jam is spot-free water.
That's right, and that's part of that the whole method and sequence of Pettit. When you put the wax through the high pressure, you know, that cuts down the foams.
Yes,
it just knocks the foams down to nothing. And there's more thought to the machine than people realize. There's more thought in the sequence and how to do things. And those who embrace the sequence and the thoughts of the original intent wash the numbers you're washing. You know what I mean? They see the volumes.
What's crazy too is that Tom's able to get the car clean with just one high pressure pass.
Yeah.
You know, you go to some of the other manufacturers, they're running 2, sometimes 3 high pressure passes.
Yep.
We're able to do this in one high pressure pass with a test to those nozzles and the spray patterns and the oscillated movement. So and like Tom says in his ads and stuff like that, like literally you're washing the car 2 or sometimes 3 times in one pass because of the oscillation.
Yep.
So we're really doing a minimum of 2 passes.
Yep. And
with one pass.
Yep.
So we're cutting down that 20 seconds, 30 seconds on that wash. And some places are doing 2-3 passes.
Yep.
We're cutting another minute off what that other machine can do.
Oh yeah. Easily. Yep. And what was your experience with your installers, with your installer Randy?
Randy was very, very instrumental in making sure this whole thing came together.
This was a big project. How many years did it take you to get this whole project together?
Over 2.
Yeah, and that
it was over 2 years.
Wasn't necessarily that had a lot to do with municipalities, as typical what they build and all that kind of stuff.
Going through the design and development stages and stuff too. But Randy working with Pettit and our pay station, all those 3 combined together, it all came together. It's working very nicely.
Fantastic.
It's working very well. It's a treat.
Awesome. Well, any other things to add? Any other questions, comments?
No, I'm happy Tom came up with a machine that can do this and make my life so much easier,
nice?
because if he didn't, I'd probably be back in the tunnel world.
Yeah.
Probably a lot less hair.
Well, this is a beautiful site. We're going to try to grab some pictures the best we can. And so where we're at, depending on the pictures, it's a triple bay, 75 feet bays. Actually, I do have one more question. What do you feel, because I've looked at a lot of tunnels, I still consult tunnels, still consult in bays. I know what I see. What do you feel you brought from the tunnel world to this in bay that most in bays don't have, or most in bays aren't doing?
I think there's several things.
Okay,
not just one. One, we create the tunnel feel just by the length of the tunnels.
Okay.
And the openness of this. So we're given, our bays are 70 feet long, 16 feet wide, 20-foot ceilings. Mm-hmm. So we're given that spaciousness, which a lot of people going through tunnels, they have the claustrophobic fear, so they won't go to tunnels for that. We didn't even touch that. Yep. A lot of people are like, I'm not pulling there. That is so intimidating looking, and just I can't do it. Yep. So here we're giving that easy to pull in, and we have all extrude tech on the walls, all white. It's almost like an operating room in there, with all the stainless. Yeah. Everything on the property is stainless. All Tom's equipment is stainless. All our vacuums are stainless. Our blowers are stainless. Our pay stations are stainless. Everything on the property, if we can do stainless, we did. Yep. Give us that nice, clean look for a very long period of time. Yep. But then back to your question, though, was 2. We have a lot of space to stack cars. Yep. So now I can get a lot of in-bay automatics don't have much space, so they're 2-3 cars. They're on the street. Yep. People don't want to be on the street. It's not a safe place to be, and now they're like, it just doesn't feel inviting. Yep. So now we have stacking here for over 25 cars. Mm-hmm. We can stack on our property before they get into the tunnel. We put a huge canopy over top our pay stations. Yeah, you did. We wanted to go ahead and give them a nice environment so the sun's out of their eyes. Yep. If it is sprinkling a little bit, a lot of people still, I'm amazed how many people wash in the rain here. Yep. They come in these, literally it's raining and they're just pulling in, but so now they have a dry environment so they can go ahead and play at the pay station. Yep. Which and I found it really helps with our pay stations too. It protects them quite a bit. Yes. So the screens aren't getting drenched with water. And beat with sun. Intakes and beat with sun. Yep. So it's helping with the pay stations as well. And then the amenities that we're offering on the property. So we're offering, we have 12 free vacuums on the property here with dual vacuum positions for them, all free with any wash. We have free mat cleaners. So we have rubber mat cleaners, carpeted mat cleaners. We'll have high pressure air at each one of the bays too, so customers can blow out interiors or their mirrors or whatever they want to do with that. Yep. And our vacuum area is gated, so we're only letting customers use those items, so they're not blocked by people who aren't paying customers. Yep. And it also helps in the maintenance of the property, because now we don't have a lot of abuse of our equipment. Yep. And the other thing is the membership program emulates what a tunnel does too. Yep. So, and we can have the throughput to that, so we give that whole feel of like this is a tunnel without the conveyor and all the damages and the cloth hitting your car and everything else. Yeah. So all those items combined, and that tunnel shuts down at 8 o'clock at night. We're still going strong. Yeah. Come on over here and wash.
Yeah, you really have taken a lot of the amenities, the speed, and the convenience of a tunnel. I think that's one reason the tunnel's really exploded. It's made it more convenient, made it easier, and you've done that here. Again, but you've taken away a lot of fears. I think another thing you've done from your tunnel, I don't see this as often. I'm starting to see it more because we're starting to see more non-car wash people using an in-bay as their first car wash. So they come from other businesses. Your branding and the beauty of your building is much better than your typical area out there. You can tell you went through a lot of work to do this.
We did, yeah.
We
spent a lot of time just picking out colors, designs, spending time with our architects. WT Group out of Chicago was our design team.
Okay.
And our architects there. And they had some creative ideas. Some things were pretty crazy and got price. The price got a little bit too crazy, but so this was a scaled down version of some of those ideas. But overall, they took my concept of what I really wanted to do, and they embraced it, and this is what we ended up with. And my marketing team too, OpSpot does our marketing for us.
Okay.
And they were instrumental in the success of our unlimited plan.
Yeah.
And that success there, and keeping those customers engaged. So they're really good with that. And then so a lot of people are involved in it, and talking to them and trying to get them to see what you're trying to accomplish. Going even to talk to your marketing team, and they're used to dealing with tunnels. Say, well, I want to do what a tunnel does, but I'm in-bay automatic. You're an in-bay.
Yeah.
That's a different thing for us.
Yeah.
Not that we're not interested.
Yeah.
And they did have a few, but our numbers are. It's something new for them.
It is something new for them because you've kept the professionalism of a really well-built tunnel. Again, and the aesthetic of a really well-built tunnel, and obviously the speed. And it is a spectacle when you come over the hill. It is a beautiful wash. Even my colleague was like, "Wow, the colors just stand out."
Yeah. So some people question us. They said when we first started building this thing, we started putting those colors. I always said, "Geez, it looks like a boys' locker room or something."
It took a while to get everything together, right?
Once you got all the colors there and all the architectural design, it all pulled together.
It did.
And boy, you're scratching your head when you're sitting there, with Anita and I are sitting in the office and picking colors out and putting it on the wall and doing swatches and saying, I don't know, we want to go this shade, that shade, where are we going? And then you suddenly start painting the thing, and you start committing to colors when you start ordering equipment and stuff. And I say, well, we're locked in now.
Yep, we're going for it.
And
Great.
luckily, we were very fortunate. It
did come together.
We're really happy the way it turned out.
Awesome. Well, Brian, I can't thank you enough for taking your time. This is a great wash. It's a great lesson for people to learn. And if any questions, just let us know. But that is a great time. Really appreciate it.
Good deal. You're welcome.
All right.